Welcome into the MyBookie.ag Monday night matchup. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor. I'm Ryan Brown. MyBookie.ag Code NextRound to play tonight's game. What is up, boys? Dunaway, you got the Buccaneers shirt on. I like that.
Yeah, it's when I've had the longest. A's are falling off and everything, but we're playing well.
Wow. Yeah, that one is old school. LT going. Is that a Rams or a Dodgers? There we go. Look at us. Look at us representing for the Monday night show.
7-7. Big game, short week, Thursday night, New Orleans.
You were out today, obviously, but Dunaway and I were standing in the studio. Jim pointed because I was laughing at the NFC. It was showing all the division leaders, and there were the Bucs at 7-7. And Dunaway's like, "Hey, look, those Rams, 7-7 right there. 7-7 has you right in the hunt in the NFC." Dunaway.
That's not the way the conversation went, Lance. Of course, Brown is painting it totally different. He said, "Look at your division, 7-7." And I was like, dude, 7-7 is 2 wild card spots. Even if we were not in the lead right now, we'd be a wild card team right now. So, because we're ahead of the Vikings because we beat the Vikings. So, we'd be the last team in right now. So it's a cluttered mess at the wild card spot. But some teams that are playing pretty good football there at 7-7. I don't think. Hey, listen, you throw in Tom Brady last year. Saturday was the best game the Bucs have played since. I think since they won the Super Bowl in the pandemic year. That was a great game yesterday. Baker Mayfield's the first player in Lambeau Field history to have a perfect quarterback rating at Lambeau Field, 66 years. That includes Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, or anybody else who's ever played there, and Baker did it yesterday. That was the best performance the Bucs have laid on tape in 2 years.
Yeah, I just look, I'm more than impressed. I thought you guys would be awful. I thought you were more like a 3-14. Baker's still too inconsistent. He was great yesterday. I do think the Rams, if they can get in, they can cause somebody trouble. The only team they can't beat is San Francisco. They should have beaten Baltimore on the road last week. They should have been up 34-7 yesterday. They dicked around and let them come back and make that a semblance of a game. But I would love to be in the AFC right now, to be honest with you, Brown. I mean, that thing, you talk about wide open. I think the NFC is better at the top.
Oh, I don't disagree. It's just going to be harder to get in the AFC play. 7-7 is not going to have you in the mix in the AFC, the NFC.
No,
AFC.
I mean, do you think 9-8 gets you in the AFC?
Well, I mean, potentially the winner of the AFC South, yes. But as a
wild card, yeah. No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't think so as a wild card, Lance, because I think the Dolphins and the Bills will have a better record than that, right? And one of those will win the division, the other will be the wild card. The Ravens are obviously going to have a better record than that.
I think there's a scenario where the Bills win 2 games, lose to the Dolphins, and miss the playoffs.
Yeah, no, that is possible. Depending on how everything goes, it's possible. Yeah,
they could be the hottest team in the NFL basically, and lose a close one to the Dolphins and not get into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I feel like 9-8 will get you in the NFC, and I think the Rams ultimately win their next 2 games, and then unfortunately they're playing San Francisco on the road in Week 17. They'll be playing for the 1 seed, so they probably go 9-8. But I think that gets you in.
You know which team controls their own destiny to the AFC 1 seed? It's the Miami Dolphins. Now Baltimore does too, but Baltimore and Miami control their own destiny. They play not this coming Sunday, not on Christmas Eve, but next week they play. So.
Boy, Baltimore's had some brutal games lined up, haven't they?
Yeah, boy, they got a tough finish. I mean, they got San Francisco next.
And I thought they were going to have problems last night with Jacksonville. We ended up going 3-2. We started out 3-0 on the noon games, and then we had the Cowboys, and that didn't work out. And
not quite.
No, and then the Jags last night. But to go to Jacksonville or to beat Jacksonville the way they beat them, if they were able to go on the road, beat San Francisco, and then beat the Dolphins, watch out. I think Baltimore's really good, but I don't think they're San Francisco good.
I didn't send it to you, LT, but I had a 3-team parlay at MyBookie.ag on the afternoon window. The 49ers. Who are the 3 big afternoon games? Can't remember now, but it was a nice little 3-team. Baltimore played an afternoon game, I believe, and there was one more in that window.
No, Baltimore had the
Bills. I had the Bills, 49ers, and Ravens.
Yeah,
all 3 favorites, but that was a nice little 3-team parlay in the afternoon on Sunday.
You hit parlays nonstop, man. You might be the top handicapper in the world right now.
Hey, did you hear about the 7-teamer I hit on Saturday? Bowl, I played every college football bowl game and I picked the right side and hit a 7-team parlay for college football on Saturday. I bet $5 on it, but I hit it. It was fantastic.
What did that pay?
$5 turned into $199.75.
I don't wait, Jimmy D.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Hey,
it made me, you know what it made me think? Made me think I should have bet $10.
Yeah, that's true.
We got 1,000.
Yeah. I wouldn't have won then.
Before we move on to tonight, let's talk about the end of that, or not the end of that game, but that game last night. What's going on with Trevor Lawrence? Now, I know he's in concussion protocol. I'm not talking about that, but guys, like the end of the half decision that he made right there before halftime, the fumble, I mean, just giving points away. He's playing weird football.
Yeah, I agree. And it's kind of what we saw, how uneven he was at the beginning of last year. And the beginning of this year was really, really good. And I don't know. I wonder if the concussion has something to do with it, though. Because a lot of these guys, when they come back, they're still kind of in a fog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. But also, you got the leg injury that he's dealing with. And I just think when you're in pain, Brown, that you don't make the same decisions in life. I mean, I don't think you drive the same way if you're driving and you're in pain with your legs or your back or your hip. And I think he's dealing with a lot of pain. He's recovering from that, a high ankle sprain. And he's out there playing with pain, maybe on some kind of medication or I don't know, to deal with the pain just to be out there. And then now he's concussed too. That just happens to be who Tampa Bay plays next.
I think, all right, so it is the MyBookie.ag Monday night matchup, MyBookie.ag code NextRound. You sign on at MyBookie.ag, make an initial deposit. They will give you a deposit bonus up to $1,000 when you use code NextRound at MyBookie.ag. That is MyBookie.ag code NextRound. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. Also, Lance'sLock.com. Lance, know you got some plays up tonight at Lance'sLock.com.
Yeah, we do. We have got the side in tonight's game. You guys know that Jalen Hurts, it looked like for a minute he wasn't going to play, and he was questionable with some undisclosed illness. I don't know if the illness has actually come out. He traveled separately from the team, but they say he's a go now.
Yeah, Adam Schefter reporting active and will play, and I think the line dropped immediately. I've got the Eagles at 3.5 right now. I think I saw it at 4.5 right before that announcement. So obviously people are now reacting to that. But Eagles minus 3.5.
Yeah, and if I was him, LT, I would be suffering from a little bit of hurt ass because of the way they treated me in practice this weekend. To make your starting quarterback go out there after a team meeting and practice falling and not turning the ball over as a guy who had led them to the Super Bowl and they should have won it. It was the defense's fault they didn't win the Super Bowl. And you have me out there acting like I'm being tackled to hold on to the football. I would have told them all to kiss my ass.
Yeah, well, that number went to 5.5, and then it back down to 3.5 right now. They're playing some bad football too. What have they been out 6 consecutive games now?
Yeah, and it finally caught up with them. They got blasted by the we got blasted by the 49ers and the Bills. Was that right? The 49ers and the Bills?
49ers, Cowboys.
Yeah, 49ers, Cowboys. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, 49ers, the Cowboys. That bad play finally caught up with him. Geno Smith is still questionable tonight. So we don't know about the other side, but you do know that it looks like it is going to be Jalen Hurts. One other aspect in this game, as NH3425 points out, this is going to be a new defensive coordinator tonight. Looks like Matt Patricia has taken over the play calling duties on the defensive side from Sean Asai for the Philadelphia Eagles. Patricia has been around the block a few times. New England head coach at Detroit. Now calling the defensive signals for this Eagles defense that has been very uneven this year, Dunaway.
Yeah, I can't believe how bad this defense has been. Dunaway, you brought up the fact that they were worried about Jalen Hurts and ball security in practice. I'd be worried about the defensive side of the football right now if you're Philadelphia.
Yeah, double-digit win team, though, coming off a Super Bowl run, and you're changing coordinators this deep into the season. Yeah, that tells you all you need to know about what's going on inside that locker room right now.
Yeah, I would agree completely.
On the other side, we're looking at a Seahawks team that is looking at 5 consecutive losses. Pete Carroll had never lost 4 consecutive games as the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks, and now he's staring 5 in the face.
Yeah. I'll ask you the question before we get to the comment there, Brown. LT, that I asked Brown in 4 Downs today. Who are you more comfortable in buying stock in for the rest of this season, Eagles or Cowboys?
God, I don't know. Neither.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cowboys yesterday, it was pathetic. I mean, pathetic performance. But
they lost to Josh Allen. He didn't even throw for 100 yards. How do you do that?
I don't
You
know.
don't man up and stop the run. James Cook had 217 yards from scrimmage yesterday.
Yeah, just
217.
We start to talk about Dallas, one of the best 2 or 3 teams in the NFL. They shit the bed like they did yesterday. So I don't know. To answer your question, I guess the Cowboys, because my lasting impression of these two playing last week, they ran them off the field. So I guess the Cowboys. But, I mean, I looked at MyBookie.ag yesterday, and San Francisco's only plus 215 to win the Super Bowl. I mean, this thing's over unless there's a major injury.
Hal asked how you're feeling about the over. He took it at 45.5. I show it at 46.5 right now. So you got pretty good value at the over there. How you feel about that?
I lean over, but I don't love it. There's just been so many unders.
Yeah.
Dunaway, you're an over-under guy.
I'm a little under tonight. Yeah. Gino's not playing, right? We're going Drew Lock. Is that what I understood?
Gino was questionable.
Okay.
Drew Lock obviously started last week. I got a feeling Gino's going to play, but
do you?
So Gino's going to gut it out. Jalen's going to gut it out. 2 starting quarterbacks. Seems like we're going to try to just get in and get out of this one with a low-scoring win. Tick, 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 tick. Give me the under.
Jalen Hurts passing yards, 249.5. 249.5. Jalen Hurts passing yards.
I guess it depends on how you feel about the total. If you like the over, I guess you would play the over. If you like the under, you play the under.
Good point.
Feels like an under to me, though. Of course, guys come in and they play with the flu or something like that, and they have the game of their life.
That's what NH3425 saying. Jalen's flu game. I could see it.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know. 249.5. The way the Eagles and Hurts have been playing, I would be inclined to go with the under in that one, especially on the road in Seattle against Pete Carroll's defense. They can kind of ugly a game up sometimes. I don't know. I feel like I'd go under on that one, Dunaway.
Yeah.
I'm
leading under.
Where are we on the Slim Reapers total receiving yards? I would guess about 75.
Ooh, well then you might want to listen to this at MyBookie.ag right now. 57.5 receiving yards for Devontae Smith. Wow.
Yeah. I'd go under 75, but I don't know if I'd go under 57.5.
I probably would just because it's so. I mean that reeks. I mean, especially with the way this Seattle defense is played in spots. But
yeah, I would tell you this too. A.J. Brown's the one that forced me to go out there and practice falling down and not fumbling, so I wouldn't throw the ball to his ass.
Yeah.
I'd look everywhere but him.
Well, his total's 80.5, so somebody's throwing to him tonight.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be me. I'd play the under on that. I'd be like, Brown, nope. Goddard, I'd throw it to Goddard. I'd throw it to Devontae. I'll throw it to Julio. I'll throw it to anybody but that guy.
Well, it looks like weather could be a factor too. I don't know if you guys are looking right now in Seattle at Monday night matchup. Oh, by the way, the bowl game ended up being fantastic.
What a game!
Late lunch, they were down 28-0.
Yeah,
they come back, take that thing to overtime, but it was on ESPN, and they broke in and they're like, "Hey, we got Monday night matchup 3 hours before kick, but we're going to push you guys to ESPN too."
Yep.
Poor Luca Bill.
That's what you get the Farm Toastery Bowl or whatever it was called today. You get shifted channels in the middle of the game. What's amazing about that, 28-0, and I'm right about this, you go in and bet an in-game play on the other team, and that's an easy comeback win, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, you could have got some massive odds on that too. But I guess my original point was it looks like weather could be a factor. It looks like really cold, kind of wet in Seattle tonight.
Yeah, by the way, that's the same bowl where we had that epic comeback. Just it's been a number of years ago. I can't even remember the two teams. Do you remember the two teams?
It was Western Kentucky and I think Central Michigan.
Yeah,
I think that was the matchup. And I remember leaving here, I was all pissed because I had Western Kentucky at Lance'sLock.com, and I never even knew it until I got home. I was like,
was it Central or Western Michigan?
It was one of the two. I thought it was Central, but it could have been Western. But I think they were down 35-0. I think 42-7.
Yeah,
it was played in the Bahamas for that game, though.
That's right. Yep. It was actually in the Bahamas for that one. Real quick look ahead before we sign it off tonight. Your Rams, Lance, 4.5-point favorites against the Saints for the Thursday nighter. there at SoFi. Huge game for you, especially depending on how tonight goes, I guess.
Yeah, I was really, really hoping that the Rams would come out about 6. It scares me. That number, if Derek Carr, Carr's one of these guys, much like Baker Mayfield, in that weird NFC South. I mean, Carr was really good yesterday, and he could come out and have one of those games. He's got a ton of experience. The Rams are the better team. It doesn't mean they're going to win, though.
We're all Rams fans on Thursday night, LT. Give us a little space in the NFC South. You give us a 1-game lead. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it is funny this time of year how you watch your scoreboard watching nonstop. Oh, yeah. Like Cincinnati, Minnesota. I was a huge Bengals fan on Saturday.
Well, Minnesota gets Detroit Sunday, and the Rams, New Orleans are tied, or they're not tied. They've got the same record. The Rams actually hold the tiebreak there, but still, this is massive for playoff implications there as it relates to the wild card. So,
for a lot of teams, well, really, this is what's kind of cool about the expansion. Like, I didn't necessarily think we needed more playoff teams when we went to the bye. But the thing I love about it is you got all of these teams like Dunaway's Bucks and my Rams playing for their postseason lives, and your Dolphins are playing for a 1 seed. So there's a stake for everyone. So I don't know how many people will be sitting week 17.
Yeah, Miami a 1.5 favorite, by the way. I don't know how you feel about that. 1.5 favorite at home against Dallas, 3:25 Christmas Eve.
I feel pretty good about Miami if Dallas plays like they played yesterday.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Well, that's what I pointed out at Dunaway. They couldn't stop the run, and Miami leads the league in yards per carry and rushing touchdowns. So Miami, it's not your most traditional looking run game, but they run the ball very well.
Oh, so, just for the fact that you have to cover sideline to sideline with your team's speed, it opens up a lot of running gaps.
Yeah, absolutely. Dunaway, I was trying to find the point spread for your Buccaneers. Why can I not?
Maybe off the board because of Trevor Lawrence and his status right now. It's hard to put a number out on that.
Yeah, where is that game?
It's back in Tampa, I believe.
Okay. I would say that Jacksonville is probably 2.5.
Yeah, you're probably right though. It's probably off the board. I didn't think about that. Yeah. By the way, give that stat. All right, so the only thing on that stat, Dunaway, you might have misspoken. So Baker Mayfield was the first visiting quarterback at Lambeau to put up a perfect rating.
Oh, okay. It was visiting. Yeah. It wasn't any quarterback?
I would think Rodgers and Favre have both done that.
Yeah, it was first visiting quarterback. Still pretty impressive, though, especially since it's Baker Mayfield that did it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm like LT. I've lost a stake bet. Since we last updated a stake bet, I've won Sarkisian getting Texas to the playoff before Beard got Texas basketball to the playoffs. Now I was playing with house money there because Beard wasn't going to get Texas back to the Final Four. But then LT comes back in. I had the Lions with more wins this year than than the Buccaneers and Texans combined. Remember that stake bet? Who would have thought that the Texans and the Buccaneers would have won? What now? A combined 15 games?
Yeah, that was one of those when we did it. I was like, that's probably a loser on my side. But yeah, NFL, man. Going into it, the last 2 picks in our draft, how we do that Calcutta, and I own 4 teams. And so I had the second pick and the next to last pick. The last 2 teams picked were I got my Rams at 32 and your Bucks went 32nd.
Yeah. Hey, wow. And both of them got 7 wins from that slot. That's a good value from that spot right there. But when I made that bet, we all knew the Lions were going to be like a playoff team, so that was going to be 9 wins. And we were all projecting maybe the Bucks and the Texans would each get 3 wins.
Yeah.
So anything over 6 for the Lions looked like a winner. They can't even match it. They can't even match what they've got right now.
All right, so the line is at 4. Philadelphia 4. The total continues to creep up. I just saw it bounce up here at MyBookie.ag. Total of 47. So that total's going up right there. Whoever had it earlier, 45.5. You've gotten value here. This thing continues to climb now that Jalen Hurts is playing on Monday Night Football. Lance'sLock.com. Lance, you got some plays up there at Lance'sLock.com.
We do right now. We've not only got the side and tonight's game between the Eagles and the Seahawks. We have a total of 6 college basketball games and 2 NBA games. So there you go. 9 plays tonight.
Geno Smith active. So we'll see if he plays. Jalen Hurts is playing. It is Monday Night Football. We'll talk about it on the show tomorrow. You played those games that Lance just talked about. MyBookie.ag code NextRound to get that sign-on bonus up to $1,000 when you use code NextRound. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag code NextRound. MyBookie.ag code NextRound. All right, everybody.
Y'all say happy birthday to Harper.
Oh, happy birthday, Harper.
Happy birthday, Harper.
Yes.
I can't believe y'all have the same a day away. That's crazy.
Yeah, insane.
It really is. Of 365 days, you had to have your birthday right before her, Dunaway.
Yeah, back to back. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you push the doctors back? She can't deliver. She cannot be on my day. That's
I've
my
told
day.
you those stories before. Maggie wanted to get all the Christmas shopping done back when you went to the malls. We'd gone shopping all day long. Maggie was in the floor about to pop, apparently, and we were inducing the next day. Maggie's wrapping all the presents. She reminds me I was laying on the couch doing nothing, and her back started to hurt. And I probably told her to rub some dirt on it or something. And the next thing you know, we're on the way to the hospital, and we have Harper right after midnight.
Cool. Well, happy birthday, Harper. Everybody enjoy the game. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock on the Next Round.